Welcome back to Kiss My Collectibles. On this week's episode, we talk to author Alain Bellicha of the upcoming book, Kiss the Originals Plus One. Find out how to get your copy today. Want to be the first to know about the newest episodes? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
This is Kiss My Collectibles podcast, but you knew that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiss My Collectibles, your source for vinyl, toys, bootlegs, and more. And I guess I just want to say to everybody that we're back.
We are.
We've. I guess I should say, I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason Herndon, and with me, as always, is
Andrew Scambatti. You can't get rid of me. I'm the virus you couldn't kill.
And joining us today for our returning episode, all the way from Japan, is a Kiss author who's put out many incredible books, and maybe Andrew will flash them across. Hey, good. I'm glad you did that because all of my stuff is still packed up. Mr. Alain Bellicha, all the way from Japan.
Konnichiwa. Hello, everyone, and it's great to be here with you. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes. So I guess we should probably just talk about a little bit about being away for a while.
Well, Jason, why does your background look so much different?
Oh,
I don't understand.
So my background looks a lot different, and if you've been in the groups or any private conversations in Facebook or whatever, I have recently moved, and I have a much, much, much larger home with a 900 square foot basement to work with for my Kiss collection. So, but I've been in this house for about a month and a half, and I haven't unpacked the first box. So,
Terrible.
so nothing is set up yet. I'm in what is my new office. I've only unpacked what I needed for my work and this podcast. And so hopefully the next time you see us, or at least 2 times down the road, I'll have some cool stuff set up in the background. We'll see. But that's why my background is different. But anyway, Kiss My Collectibles has been away for a while. A lot of different things had happened, including me moving, selling my childhood home, and my wife and I moving into this new house. And there were just a lot of different things that took away from time from doing the podcast. So I had told Andrew that I wanted to step away for a little while, and that's what we did. So Andrew went on and has been on several episodes of the Kiss FAQ podcast, and he's doing some fan edit stuff. I'll let him talk about that. So, but when I saw that Alain was coming out with this new book, which we will definitely talk in depth about, I reached out to Alain and said, hey, I'd love to have you back on the show. Alan's been on twice before. This will be his 3rd appearance. I highly respect all of the work that he does and the insights that he has into the business of Kiss in Japan. And
Thank you.
Yeah, so I wanted to have him on, and I told Andrew I thought this would be a great episode to come back with, and so that's what we're doing. So that's a brief explanation of what's been going on. What's been going on with you, Andrew, since we've been away?
Well, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, I've been doing a lot with Julian. I've been editing a lot of Kiss stuff that people may or may not be able to see. More on that, in the coming months. Just been really, really busy doing other things outside of the Kiss world. Which, funny enough, I guess people that know that I life outside of the Kiss world. But
What?
Yeah. But just been doing various things and just kind of enjoying all the other stuff that's been coming out. Just excited that we're sitting here in almost 2019 and we're still able to talk about new Kiss stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I did want to mention our other esteemed co-host that isn't with us right now, Nicholas Buckland, all the way in Sydney, Australia. he is putting out a book called The Hottest Brand in the Land, the Ultimate Kiss Collector Coffee Table Book, which he's talked about before. And as of this recording, and you'll see it right now, there's the cover of the book. So while you're checking out the cover of the book, I'll just kind of go over it really quickly. It's the true story of the rise and fall of Kiss merchandising from the late 70s and early 80s. Everything, from the Aucoin era to the Boutwell era, 304 pages of color photographs that include lunchboxes, trash cans, and whatever you can think of. Lots of minutia and lots of correspondence between the licensees and the band. So pre-order starts soon, but the Hottest Brand in the Land is the next Kiss book to come out. So I'm super excited because I have a lot of 70s merchandise, but I always like seeing pictures of the 70s merchandise and other people's pictures too.
Right. I'm a huge Aucoin era fan as far as collecting merchandise goes.
Yeah.
And my old display case that used to sit behind me was 99% Aucoin merchandise, and it's going to be great to have high resolution photos and explanations of all of these pieces and in one place in a nice big coffee table book. And so if you're into Aucoin merchandise, you definitely want to get this book. It's gonna be the book for the collectors. What History 2 should have been.
Yes, I was just gonna mention that History 2 should have been this.
This is gonna be that book. So
yeah, I'm really excited too because when I was a kid, I grew up in Belgium and we didn't have that merchandise. I discovered all that Aucoin merchandise years later. So I had a few glimpses with t-shirt transfers and very, very few things. So I'm really excited about that release, and quality should be excellent.
I've definitely been seeing some photos, in the background that Nicholas has been showing and
make sure you follow Everything Kiss either online on the Facebook or on Instagram, because Nicholas, he's run Everything Kiss for over 10 years now. Yep. And the first place you see all the stuff is going to be Everything Kiss. So check out everythingkiss.com. But, like I said, Nicholas is still, and this isn't a soundbite, Nicholas is still very much part of the family. And when he can come on, he definitely will be here. I'm assuming he'll be here talking about the book very soon.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I told him when we were talking on a post the other day, I said, look, he stepped away from the podcast because he had a lot of family stuff going on. He was moving as well. Plus, he was working on the book. He commutes an hour one way every day to work. And, he just didn't have time to stay up until midnight, with the time difference here in the States to do these podcasts anymore, kind of like Alan's doing right now. And so, he said once things calm down that he would like to come back to the show. But I said, you've got to come back and promote the book. We got to do the pre-sale, we've got to do it on the show. So I'm sure he'll be back to do that. Yeah. But Nicholas is also an admin in the Kiss My Collectibles group, the Kiss My Vintage group, which is all Aucoin merchandise. So he's very much still part of the family. So, all right.
Well, let's talk about some new Kiss merchandise that's coming out. This came over from everythingkiss.com. A company called Much Media. They're putting out some new Kiss shirts. These are actually cool. I don't really like the sleeves on them, but I kind of like these. There are the 4 solo albums, and there's also a Dress to Kill, a Love Gun, and then just a Kiss logo. I guess you can call that the Monster style Kiss logo. But it looks like Much Media is a Dutch merchandise group just because it's muchmedia.de. So I think that means it's Dutch.
Yeah. No, DE would be Germany.
Germany? Okay, my apologies on there. So, but it's really cool. So you look on there, but so I click on there and I'm like, okay, what else do they have? Because they seem to have the Kiss license and they seem to be producing a bunch of other stuff. So I go on their website and there's like 4 or 5 pages of Kiss stuff. The first thing I see is a really, really awesome Alive 2 shirt. I'm like, oh, cool, I want this. But you look at it, and the inside of the Kiss logo where the S meets the I, it's missing the little... I'll throw a picture up here, but you can kind of see it right there. It's missing the little outline in between the I and the S.
Oh, I see that.
What the hell?
And now we've seen some official merch from the U.S. before that has that same issue.
But okay. Listen, that happened on the Crazy Nights tour book. I get that.
Right. That's right.
There are so many more hands and so many more easy ways to fix this in 2018. How does that still happen?
Well, I mean, there was some issues on on the 2014 vinyl reissues where there are some weird kind of quirky things. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, and I've tried to show it once before, but the font size, I believe it's for Ace Frehley's solo album, where it has Ace Frehley in the block letters, is a different font size from Paul, Gene, and Peter.
Now I'm gonna have to go look at that.
You got to look at it, man. You got to look at it.
How do those things happen?
I don't know. And then you've got the Elder that has the missing bracket on the top or the bottom of the door knocker. It's photoshopped out. It was somebody just didn't put a layer in or something like that, So there's errors like that happen no matter how many eyes are looking at it.
Very easy to make mistakes. Let me reassure you about that.
I've written a lot of books. I'm sure.
But still, like, this goes up on the website, and there's got to be there. Like, how do you not know? This error with the S is super, like. The Elder thing, I probably wouldn't have noticed, and same with the font thing on the solo albums. But This is super noticeable. That's the first thing I noticed, and I was like, I'm not buying that now. They would have had my money an hour ago when I found the page, but now that I see that, I'm not buying that.
Send them a message.
Were they gonna be like, "Thank you for your message"?
Yeah. All right. So are you completely off board with that company in general now, or just that shirt?
Just that shirt. There are other, like I said, the solo album shirts are cool, and I just don't like how they have the Kiss logo and stuff down
you
the
don't
sleeve.
like that?
No,
I thought that was kind of cool looking.
No, but I could just cut the sleeves off or whatever. I don't know, but I don't like that. I like my Kiss stuff very plain. I just like it plain.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of a lot of the Kiss shirts that are just huge. The print is
it's
huge.
like everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. We say that, and we have pretty big prints on our shirts now. But
but these are like that. That one might not be a vintage shirt, but this is a vintage shirt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but the Dynasty stuff is my favorite stuff. Not my favorite era, but for some reason the merch that came out around Dynasty.
Yeah, I love it.
I absolutely love. Your shirt. I have the poster right here. You can't see it, but it's right there. Return to Kiss poster right there.
We can't see it.
I know. Nobody can.
So something that we used to use, I guess we used to do on Kiss My Collectibles, was we talked about new acquisitions and things that we have gotten. I personally bought a house. That's
can we see it? Do you want to walk around with the camera and show us the house?
No, I don't. So, the point of that is I haven't been buying a lot of Kiss merch. That being said, I got the score of the year on eBay.
Let's see it.
I don't have it yet. It's on its way here.
Okay.
What is it? Tell us what it is.
I only told one person. I told Nicholas because
why?
Nicholas just got his recently as well, probably 4 or 5 months ago. So it's very elusive, but hopefully by the next time we record, I'll have it.
Oh. You're not going to tell us?
Now I'm going back to
I'll tell you off there because I want to be able to show it and it be a surprise. So,
okay.
But I'll tell you both off the air.
I think I know what it is.
All right. Well, don't tell.
Off the air.
So
I'm going back to Nicholas's page now, going like, what the fuck did he just get? Where is this thing?
Yeah. Well, Andrew, if you think about it, we had talked about it, and I thought he was going to show it on one episode, and he showed something else, and he was like, I would, I don't know if you remember that, but it was right when we first started recording Collectibles.
I do.
So anyway, what about you guys? Have you guys purchased anything lately?
I haven't. I mean, I've showed some stuff that I got at the time on Julian's show. So like I just got like my Alive 3 black vinyl that was missing. So now I have all 4 of the Alive 3s from 95.
That's great. I don't even have that, and I'm a vinyl collector.
Yeah,
got so 500 pieces of vinyl here, and I don't even have that.
Yeah, so I got that, and I think that's really it. I mean, after I bought the Vault earlier in the year, I was like, maybe I want to buying freeze a little bit for Kiss stuff. But I did mention this on Julian's show, and I know I talked to you about it, but Action Figure Toys Company is putting out retro style boxes for this will be the 3rd issue of their 78 Kiss dolls. There was the first issue, which was then there was the second issue, which was updated face sculpts and this and that. And this is the 3rd issue of the original 78. I mean, the front of the boxes look awesome. You turn around the box on the back, it looks like poo-poo.
Yeah, it's all Gene, right?
It's
Every one of them.
Yeah, I don't even. No, not good.
Yeah, that's caused a little bit of uproar because you've got the purists that don't want any of the vintage coin merchandise replicated in any way. Me personally, I've been on a crusade since we've been doing this for the last 3.5 years or whatever against counterfeiters ruining our beloved hobby here by counterfeiting so many great things, so many Japanese paper goods that have been reprinted and trying to pass it off as authentic and stuff. I hate that stuff, but a lot of people don't want official replicas as well. We had the lunchbox that was done, and now you have these Migo boxes that have been not quite replicated. They're different. There's differences all over it.
Yeah,
so.
they don't. All the band members are credited as their characters. They're not
correct.
So people flipped out about that, but it's this action figure toys company right on there.
Right.
So, but
and it doesn't have the instruments on the back.
Correct. It's clear. It's clear as day. Especially with Nicholas's book coming out, you're going to be able to tell this. I mean, this information is going to be available. But I don't know. How do you feel about a replica of something that you're purchasing it knowing that it's a replica, just so you can have said item to enjoy it?
I'm okay if it's official. But I think it's clear that allowing counterfeiting of it being done or quote unquote fan made versions of it being done and sold, that there's no control and there's no way to tell, and so many people get fooled. Look, I have been fooled.
Yeah.
And
it's because you're a foolio.
Whatever. I have been fooled, and I've talked about it many times by a Tiger record player.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of money on it, and it's just not cool, man. And I know, I can tell by your question that you're going to say, hey, I'm fine with it because I get to enjoy it, but it is terrible for the hobby. Well, absolutely terrible for the hobby.
I agree with you that it is terrible for the hobby, but there are certain things that I'm not able to obtain. Like one of the biggest bootleg things that I own is the lips pin that was redone. I was never able to get those, and even if I were able to get one, I wouldn't want to put it on my jackets because I'd be worried that it was going to get ruined. So I was able to get these. I think I have 4 or 5 of them in my collection right now because it's my favorite thing. But
really,
it's my favorite thing.
I might have felt different about this 20 years ago.
Do you have one? Were you going to grab one?
Yeah, I have one.
One of the counterfeit.
A real one.
A real one.
But it's easy to tell because you have a safety pin back on the real one, and then you have post pin backs on the.
It's not easy to tell because when someone sticks it up on eBay, they're not going to send you a picture of the back, and there's going to be people try to pass that off as authentic, and they're going to rip people off, and you can't get around that with all the possible good intentions that someone may have of replicating something for themselves personally. When you get in, and this is, I'll always believe this now, when you get into making multiple copies of it and selling it, you're hurting the market. You're hurting the market, and you're potentially screwing people over who don't know.
I definitely don't want to damage the hobby or rip anybody off, but I've got things that I was able to enjoy that I wouldn't have been able to enjoy.
That.
Yeah,
I get that side of it. I'm not.
But like you could check out up here. I mean, this is you probably can't see it because it's not high enough. But I have an original New York City poster, the 77 one, the New York City Skyline one. But remember, like 10, 15 years ago, Kiss reissued that, and I purchased the reissue, and I go, this just it. I don't like the reissue. The logo's different. The photo's kind of a little different. So, but when I got a real one from the 70s, I was like, man, this is the shit. This is the shit.
I was looking for this single for a long time.
Okay.
And I could never find it. And I thought, well, I'll get the 2012 reissue. From the
single box. Yeah,
the Kiss single box set.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I was not excited about it.
Yeah.
I finally found the real one, the original one.
Yeah.
And it was completely different. It getting something that looks similar. It's a reproduction. It's official, but it didn't have the same feeling than
I
when I
agree with
got
that.
the actual real collectible, because you want the collectible because it's rare, because it's original. If you have a collectible that's reproduced and that you can get for $10, it's not the same feeling.
Well,
It's absolutely not the same feeling at all.
here's my rebuttal to that. Most of the reproductions that I have are consumable goods, meaning it jackets, t-shirts, stuff that I can
Okay.
wear and stuff that I can do. Like for me, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I get to wear this shirt or I get to do this. So in that
Yeah.
aspect, I will always purchase reproductions because I'm
I
able
would.
I'm able to wear it. I'm not gonna sell it. I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna whatever. Like see, like you're this is a reproduction of this shirt, but looks just like I have an original from
Yeah.
'79, but this happens to be a reproduction of the '79 one.
I would
Love it.
never take a risk to put the lips pin, the real one, on the jacket.
See, there you
Just
go.
in case it falls. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would. I
but
would put a reproduction. But in that case, yeah, I'm with you.
yeah. So for consumable goods, like I got
Mm.
one of the reproduction solo album keychains. I got the Ace one, and it's on my car keys.
Right. I understand that. You can use it. I get it. You can
Yes.
buy those for $20, the whole set,
Mhm.
20 or $30, and you can use them and all that stuff. I get it.
Mhm.
But so many times those things are tried to be passed off as authentic, and people get ripped off. The number one message I get in my PMs on Facebook, number one, is, "Hey Jason, is this real?" Okay. And
Mm.
I even had one of the who I consider one of the premier collectors in the world, probably, one of the largest Kiss collections I've ever seen, contacted me yesterday and sent me a picture of a Tiger record player from eBay and said, "Do you think this is real?" And we had a conversation about it, and this guy owns two of them in the box and wanted to know if I thought it was real, because he's missing the inner sticker, and he wants to know on the 45 adapter, he's missing that inner sticker for some reason, and he wanted to know if that was real because he was going to buy it just to get that sticker. And
Wow.
I think that ruins the hobby. I think it ruins the hobby. And I think that the cons outweigh the pros here. But I do understand that you want to use this stuff as throwaway things. They're throwaway things.
Consumable goods is
Consumable.
what I call it.
I get it.
Consumable.
I get that. I get that totally.
Well,
but
so what do you think about, because, obviously this started talking about the figure toys company Mego boxes, but what do you think about the actual Mego company releasing 8-inch versions of Kiss Mego dolls on bubble cards?
I'm more forgiving on official reissued items, just like the Casablanca box set on the singles and stuff like that. They're completely different. And are very difficult to pass off as authentic. With that lips pin, if you're looking at them on an eBay auction and you're just looking at the fronts of those things, it's very difficult to tell. They're made to deceive. They're simply made to deceive.
That's right.
These official reproductions, like what Alan's holding in his Casablanca singles box set, none of those singles came in the U.S. with those jackets. They just didn't, and that was put together. That project was put together. And when you've got something like, the Action Figures Toy Company who did the Mego boxes, they're completely different and they're official. To me, that's just an additional thing to collect.
Mm-hmm.
But when something is made by a fan to deceive the consumer, I have a problem with it.
I'm
I just do.
gonna try and see if I could find this eBay auction, because I was looking, and I want to get your opinion on this because I know I saw it the other day. It's probably not even up here anymore. But the other day I was looking for unofficial reproductions of the original Mego boxes, and some guy was selling them at $25 a pop on eBay, but I don't see it anymore.
What's my opinion of that?
Yeah, you hate it, right?
Garbage.
Yeah,
Absolute garbage. No way. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
damn supporter, you're fired.
I'm surprised they're. No, I didn't buy it. I'm not a
They're
supporter.
gonna rip you apart when they see this.
I just saw them, and
You-
I wasn't
I
gonna
just-
buy it.
You're
I'm
a
gonna.
supporter of counterfeit merchandise.
No.
It's come out now. They're gonna rip
No.
you apart when they see this. They're gonna demand that I fire you.
Haven't they ripped me apart enough already?
How do you feel, Alan, about
About?
that type of counterfeit merchandise? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't buy a repro Mego box.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a broken piece of crap, real one, authentic from '78, than have a clean reproduction.
I
It doesn't
agree
make
totally.
any sense to me.
My purpose of looking for that is because it was right after I was looking at the action figure toy company versions, which I got to tell you, they're not that cheap. They're like $60 a doll.
no,
Wow.
they're not cheap.
Yeah, they're not cheap. So I was just looking at the.
They're only doing those in 12 inches too. They did all the other figures in 8 and 12. They're doing these in just 12, right?
Well, do you know why they're only doing them in 12 inches?
I guess because it's a quote unquote replica.
Not true, because the Mego company is doing 8-inch versions.
Oh,
of
that's
those
right.
dolls.
That's
That's
right.
why.
Yeah.
That's why there'd be no like. I don't know if this is one company. I don't know if this is like a Viacom thing, or it's an MTV VH1. If it's the same company putting out the same items with different logos, I don't know. It would be funny if Action Figure Toys Company is still Mego. I would laugh
The
at that.
picture that I saw from of the Mego Paul did not look good to me.
Well, he looked like a Simpsons character a little bit. It was also it was to the side, and there was glare on the box. So it was probably prototype. I'm not gonna pass judgment until I see them at my
To a
Target.
sim in person, yeah.
Because I will tell you, I was at Target yesterday, and I did stop at the Mego section again because I got this end cap where it's all Mego. Like there's a Norm from Cheers comes with a little beer stein, Alice from the Brady Bunch, Jimi Hendrix. Like they were really cool looking figures, I tell you, really cool looking. So I'll be excited when I'm able to go in and buy the Kiss ones. I'll do it. And it's only and I will tell you there's a huge price difference. So the Action Figure Toys Company versions, they're about $60 for the 12 inches. The Mego company, they're only doing 8-inch figures at this point. Those 8-inch ones are $15.
$15, yeah. As long as it's not Bart Stanley.
Bart
Stanley. Yeah,
Right. Right.
So Andrew is officially come out as a supporter of counterfeit goods. So give him hell, because I will.
He said unofficial.
Yeah. Consumable goods. I'm not gonna buy
So
it.
you're gonna eat your shirt?
That's consumable meat. That doesn't mean I'm eating it. When you consume, you're using something as a consumable.
And
Jeez.
so Alan, have
Yes.
you gotten anything new lately?
Yes,
Show us.
I picked it up here because I wanted to show you. It's kind of a holy grail.
Okay.
Oh.
You know what this is?
Very nice.
But do you know what this means?
I'm not 100% certain. Clue us
Okay,
in.
so if you have this single
Mhm.
with that jacket in the back, it means it's the very rare V2 promo
Nice.
with
Oh.
Gene Radioactive on side A and Don't You Let Me Down on side B. And this is a really, really rare Japanese vinyl that I got recently. So
And so I have to ask, did you find that in a store, or did you get it from another collector, or?
this was online.
Oh, it was online. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I know that you make trips out to the shops in Japan and you buy.
Oh
some
yeah,
stuff.
when I have yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
So-
Which,
I
Alan,
haven't-
if you
I-
ever see another Originals 2, call on me.
originals too,
Originals
all
too.
the time.
all the time. Those things aren't rare anymore.
Listen, I really, really want one.
That's a $150 record now.
Done.
When I bought mine in
It's actually more. It's actually probably more in Japan for some reason. It's crazy.
Listen, call on me. I need that record.
Yeah, with Obi and everything.
I would be willing to have the Obi off, but I do want the other inserts, if possible.
The masks, you mean?
Yeah, the mask, and there's a
Mask
book
and
in
the
there
books.
too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Two books.
Photo book and booklet. Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing which is not very rare because you can buy it in the bookstores is an Ace Frehley special magazine that came out last week from my dear friends at Shenko Music.
He looks.
It's presented by Young Guitar. It's the worst Ace Frehley picture they
I
could
was
find.
just gonna say that was like Ace in '95 when he
Yeah, I
was
was
all.
gonna say, and then a 95 shot.
Yeah. And there's some like makeup in on the layer.
Oh, you can kind of see it. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. And of course it ties in very nicely with the news because Ace will be in Japan next week. Very excited.
Awesome.
Couple of shows in Tokyo and Osaka, and I'll see him Monday night.
One of our good friends of the show, Keith Valcourt, he does an awesome Ace impression. So if Keith ever comes back on the show, he's got to do his Ace impression. I spent some time with Keith, and he would just do that Ace impression, and I was rolling every time he did it. Great Ace impression. Probably the best one I've heard.
That's awesome. Okay, so anything else we need to cover before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show?
Nope, I'm okay. I think I
You're
showed
hungry?
everything exciting.
Okay, well, so I wanna pump up Alan's ego a little bit because I have all your books and I purchased them all.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
I'm actually that's a lie.
And
I'm
I sent a
missing,
complimentary copy too once.
yes, I was just gonna go over that. So because I'm missing one of the pressings of this, so I have 2 of 3. So I have
all 3.
I have the first one and I have the third one, right?
Very nice.
Right, and I didn't notice actually. So you're gonna yell at me for this. So I know about the differences on there, but I think when I first got this, I was on my way to Las Vegas for a vacation, and my bookmark was still in it. And I was like, man, my bookmark is still in this. Like, why is it still in this? And I guess I had stopped at the 78 tour, and I never even looked at any of the pages after the 78 tour. So I was looking at this morning before we recorded. I was like, oh, there's so much cool stuff still in this book that I had no idea. Like for example, I'll show you the page here real quick that I was looking at today because I had no idea that this stuff was in here. Let's just let you know that
Well,
sometimes
it only took you what, 3 years?
Yeah,
Well done.
Only 3 years. Yeah.
only 3 years. Like, because I stopped at this is the last page that I had looked at was this page
Yep.
here.
End
And
of
then-
78.
Yeah, so then I'm looking. I'm like, my God, there's other stuff. I had no idea. And then it's cool because like there's stuff from the farewell tour, obviously, stuff from the reunion tour. Not a whole bunch of stuff from the 2006 Japanese tour, but
No, it was really a very short affair. Really,
know.
4 shows.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. I was there. I attended all 4.
I
of them.
know.
And it's cool. So I was looking at that. I was like, oh, this is cool stuff.
Oh, thank you
So,
very much.
Yeah, so we got this one. There's 3 years later. There's 3 versions of this book. So also, and I have to mention that they are out of print. So if you want a copy, you will have to
That's
go
right.
on the secondary market to get
Yes.
one. But so you have that, and then very famously, after you printed up 3 versions of this, you were like, no more Kiss books, not doing Kiss again. And then of course, you released the Takes Tokyo 77. You basically call this a magazine more than a book, but it's actually nicer than any magazine I've ever had. It's got these great photos and all this great stuff
Thank
from
you.
the first Japanese
Thank
tour in
you very much.
77. So this was great. Another home run on this one. Again, also out of print, so you got to hit on the secondary market for this. And last but not least,
And he was adamant when he did the show with us.
yes.
Adamant.
So he comes in, he's like, no more Kiss books.
78 book.
Not
I'm
doing this shit again. And then, of course, you see just the Facebook post, and it's funny because I'll see the Facebook post.
It is funny, but
son of a
honestly, I'm going to go exactly like Keith. I really mean it when I say it, because the making the book is not even the hardest part. The hardest part is what comes after, when you have to do the shipping and go to the post office and put the stuff in the bag and
That's
put
the
the
part
stuff in
that
the
sucks the most. Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible, and you can't wait to ship the last one until you're back to have a normal life.
And then stuff gets damaged, and you have to deal
Yeah.
with
People
Oh
have-
yeah.
customers.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll talk about shipping off the air, Alan. We'll talk about shipping a little bit. But then, so the last book to date is the Budokan 78 book that just came out. This
Yep.
also is a magazine format going over the Budokan 78. And
Which was also just a gift in someone's vault
I was
in Australia,
just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
which I just sent a
Um,
picture to Alan a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, so
yes,
that was.
yes, yeah. I would have been pissed if I had bought the vault and this would be my special gift.
Can you imagine? He's giving it back to you.
Oh man. I did send uh, several samples to their offices for how was it called? Internal distribution.
For internal
So
for
I'm
internal
very
consumption.
Yeah.
I'm very glad it made it into a vault. That
It's
was
kind
very
of
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it-
of course.
you know,
But
that-
Gene's house, the garage, and it's just stuff everywhere.
yeah.
So,
Okay,
it is
so-
there's no shortage of putting special gifts in those vaults.
You've
So,
been there, right?
Yes, I have.
nice.
Yes.
So let me ask you. This will be my first question to you.
Yes.
And for people tuning in, or if you just got ADD and you're tuning back in, Alan is putting out a fourth product called Kiss Originals Plus One. That's due out late September of this year. And
That's right.
What's great about this book now, you can head over to kissinjapan.com to pre-order it. There are two ways to pre-order. You can pre-order just one book, or you can pre-order two books to kind of save on shipping a little bit. Now, this book is officially licensed by Kiss, so if you pre-order before September the 7th, you will get an exclusive poster. And you have to pre-order before September 7th to get that exclusive poster.
I've already pre-ordered mine.
I was the second person to pay, and I wanted to be the first person. So he posted it up, and I was like, "Take my money." And I was the second person to pay. But anyway, head
Yes,
on over to Kiss
thank you
Japan.
for that.
No worries. Head on over to kissjapan.com to pre-order your copy of Kiss the Originals Plus One. So now my question. Now that we've gotten
Yes.
all the hoopla out of the way, I got
Did you mention that you could pre-order it at kissinjapan.com?
no, but let's do that again.
Okay.
If you head over to kissinjapan.com, you can pre-order the new book.
What-
But
What's
so,
that website again?
kissinjapan.com.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
kissinjapan.com.
How's it spelled?
You'll see it up here in the written matter. You'll see it there. So I have all three of your books. Why do I want that? Besides knowing that there's a great amount of care and there's a great amount of quality put into all your products. But let's just say someone who doesn't own these books or wasn't able to get these books. Why do we want Kiss the Originals Plus One? Why do we want this? Why?
Why not? But the real answer is this, to me, the way I'm approaching it is I want to have the third Music Life Encyclopedia magazine. And due to my long-term relationship with Shenko Music, I was able to get access to more photos than I could in the first book. And so this is the Original Plus One is really a look at the Music Life archives from 1975 to 1980. And all the photos, I will say, okay, 98 or 99% of the photos in the Original Plus One are new. They're not in those books. So if you have those books, the photos that are coming out are not in there. So it's exclusive content again, much more emphasis on photos and rather than text. I really wanted to make more of a tour book, of a photo book. I advertise it as a photo book. Not only Shenko Music, by the way. I have photos from a freelance photographer and other surprises. Some of my archives, because the more I have spent looking for Kiss stuff, the more I found. And since the last 2 or 3 years, still stuff popping up in the wild. So
I
it's
actually
really
know
a
that
cover
feeling.
of.
I know that feeling because I just found the last part of this book after 3 years of
So it's a photo book, vintage photo book from the originals, the 4 guys, plus one, which is of course Eric Carr. And yeah, I wanted to pay special tribute to Eric Carr.
Great.
That was a great thing to do.
as we should. So just one more quick question, then I'll let Jason take over. And you may or may not even be able to answer this question, but it popped into my mind. As you're going through these archives and going through your own archives, and you have different fans or different private photographers that are letting you have access to their stuff, what's something that you found that really kind of took your breath away, that you didn't think you would ever see or weren't even aware of? What's one thing that you found that you're excited to show the fan base?
Well, Shenko Music was kind enough to pull folders with slides that were buried God knows where. And, they have digital archives, which have been used by perhaps other parties, and unfortunately, quite a few may have leaked, or they're kept by hoarders or collectors, or you can call them thieves as well if you want. But yeah.
Oh boy.
Call a spade a spade.
Yeah, amen.
Edit her out.
No, he didn't say any names.
I know.
Well, anyway, so those photos that were in those folders in slide format were not digitized. So you can be sure that they're not, you've never seen them. And when I opened those folders, I was like, oh my God, I want this one, and this one, and this one. So seeing those rare photos in fantastic condition and shape was perhaps to me the highlight. And they will be in the book.
Did you sorry, my follow-up, did you find any video footage?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Did you find any video footage?
Over there, no, they don't have the video.
Dang.
All right. So the thing that I want to know the most about is probably something I don't know if you can, how much liberty you have to discuss this particular subject, but I want to know all about the licensing aspect.
Aha. Oh, did we mention that it's officially licensed by KISS?
I think.
You know what I really want to know? Where can we get the book? Like, where can we pre-order it?
You go to www.kissinjapan.com and you can pre-order the originals plus one.
That's
so
right.
what was your question, Jason?
Something about the licensing.
Oh, because it's officially licensed by KISS.
It's officially licensed, is what.
Yes. Obviously, I'm joking, but I'm shocked in a way that it happened. And I never imagined it would. But the first thing I did was ask. That was the first thing.
Who did you ask?
Well, first you ask management, and management, I think, goes through legal counsel. Maybe legal counsel ask the bosses. The bosses reply to the legal counsel, and then it goes back to me in a way.
Gotcha.
But how that, for my part, was just asking, and whether they agree or not, that's on their side.
Sorry, not to interrupt, but so when you asked, did you have a presentation? Did you show your previous works? How did you present this? Did you just say, "Hey, I'd like to do a KISS book," and have you, what was that process?
Well, okay, the process was, well, for this one, you mean? Yes.
Yes, for this one. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I need to talk about the previous one. For the previous one to happen, Shenko Music asked me to get KISS permission for them to license the photos. So that's what I did. And I got the permission from KISS management, and Shenko Music allowed me to use the photos. So for this one, the fourth one, KISS, the originals plus one, I preempted. I asked directly management. I'm thinking of doing this, and I'm sure Shenko will ask for your permission. Do I have your permission to do it? So it went back and forth. I got the okay. So I told Shenko Music, I got KISS's management approval to license they don't, approval is maybe, the legal term is they do not object to me
Okay.
doing the book. And since they knew the Budokan 78 magazine, the last one, because I had been in contact with them and they got the copies, they kind of knew me.
Right.
Not saying that, oh yeah, Alain is just that guy in Japan who makes books. I'm not, don't pretend that they really know me, but I had some, I had stuff to show that I'm serious and I can
Right.
do a good
You
job.
you had credibility now because your
Yes,
product was
yes,
superior and they had it in their hands and they knew that they weren't dealing with some amateur.
that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
So I think that's what played in the in their consideration. What they are really thinking, I don't know. They could have said no, but they said yes. So there were some transactions which I can't discuss.
Of course
Obviously,
not.
there is a non-disclosure clause in there. So but it was not easy. I was on pins and needles for weeks until I got the contract. It could have been a no very quickly,
Sure.
but I, I was patient and fortunately it was a positive outcome.
Well, it couldn't have happened to a better guy. I'm so
Oh, thank you
so
very
happy
much.
for you.
Thank you,
When I
thank you.
saw your post, I was like, "This, how great is this? All of that work you put into all of those other books, and then finally, official recognition. I think that's incredible. So,
Yes,
congratulations.
Yeah.
thank you.
Many,
Thank you very
many
much. It will have
congratulations.
I'm really excited about using the logo on the cover. That's
Yes.
really the coolest part of
Yes,
all
yes.
this. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So the breakdown of the book. Tell us a little bit about it. Do you have it completely laid out? Is it done, or what's where are you at in that process?
Yes, the layout is done with the samples. I just need to get the some of the remaining high resolution photos
Okay.
from Shenko, but I have yeah, I have only two. I only have 3 pages that need to get worked on. Just
Okay.
to let just FYI.
How many pages is the book?
The page in total will be 130 pages, so it's double the size of those magazines that you're holding. Wanted to get closer to the legendary encyclopedias, 150 or so.
Right.
But when you think of shipping and prices, and there's this point where it's not going to work. I thought 130 would do the trick.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Can't wait to see it. So, Andrew.
I'm just,
Looking at the old magazine.
I'm just enjoying these books because there's always been a special relationship with KISS and Japan. So to be able to kind of take a peek inside what it was like to be a fan at that time is really great. I mean, these aren't. I mean, Alan, you short sell yourself quite a bit on these books because not only are you going.
A lot of people have been telling me that.
Yes.
I don't know what to say. When I went back earlier this year and gave them a few samples, they said, how much did you charge for this? And I said, well, it was $19.78, and they were like, that's too cheap. You should have charged more.
I mean, because
as a consumer, thank you, but I think
Yes.
it's too cheap as well.
Same.
Well, thank you. This is to be enjoyed by the fans.
I agree.
And maybe I can try to sell it for 40 or 50, but then what? It's not the point. The point, what really drove me was I found those amazing photos that no one has seen before, and they've been in these archives for 40 years. It's time for them to go out. And yeah, let's have fun. Let's make a magazine, and since it's 1978, let's price it at 1978. It should be a celebration. That's really my drive.
Well,
I agree, and it's very commendable. Don't
Yeah.
forget your thought, Andrew. It's very commendable
Oh.
from you as an author. Most people don't think like that. You know,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan first and foremost.
well, sure,
It-
yeah.
You know, it's and it wasn't an official magazine at the time, but this time it is official, and the price is a little higher, of course, because of the size. It's over 130 pages, and
Sure.
and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, they're made to be enjoyed.
I agree. I agree.
So what I was getting at before, saying that you were underselling yourself, not only is the quality of the book great, but it's so much more than just the Shenko archives, because you get pages like this in all the books where you have fans that actually took pictures of the shows. I mean, there's one picture here where there's a billboard of an advertisement of a poster in the box office window. I mean, you probably can't see it now, but it's in there if you got the book.
You know what it is actually? It's a screen cap of 8mm film.
You actually stole my next question.
Okay.
Because
I stole your next question.
because
Yes.
I do know about this famed 8mm footage. And I was glad to be able to see screen captures of it in this book. I've actually known about it since this book. So I was able to see some of the screenshots here, which was great. But it's cool because you get to see magazine clippings. You get to see all kinds of stuff.
That's true. That's true. I failed to mention that, but yeah, the 78 was really trying to get a time capsule of the year 78 in Japan. And of course, the new book will have the same thing. There will be a few pages with clippings and different ads and some comments to sort of summarize what happened in that year in Japan. It's always trying to give the Japanese point of view, the Japanese timeline with the releases. I'm not going over the same, U.S. version of history.
Yeah. So what's next? Is there going to be another book?
This book isn't even out yet, Andrew.
But it's
Exactly,
done. But it's
exactly.
done. But it's done. Because I know in the back of your head you probably have another book in you. Because- See, you see,
Go
what
ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
ahead.
because there's such a great history. So you're stopping this book at 1980. So you know that there are going to be people that want to. Here's what I want to know. As a fan,
Yeah.
what I want to know, what was it like in Japan between 1978 and 1988? What was going on in the fan community when there was no Kiss presence? Kiss hadn't toured in Japan between 70 and 88. So what was going on at that time?
You can read the Kiss in Japan book. I'm covering those empty years as they call it,
You
because
forget, Alan. He just discovered
yes,
that
that's
there
right.
was
That's
a
right. Well,
1979 to 88.
I can't believe I
It- it
missed
wa-
that. I can't believe. I just
well,
can't-
no surprises. It's very thin because they didn't tour.
Right.
Right.
It's like
so
it's like almost like a third of the book that I had no idea. What the hell, man?
Well, no
So
one ever
for-
called you a
for the-
genius, Andrew.
for the photos, I have to stop at a point where they were present in the press, and
Right.
you look at the archives and it stops at 1980. I could have moved, maybe pushed to 81, 82 with the Elder, but really there were no photos exclusive to Japan for that period.
Got you.
So
So what
that's
what they were putting out was just stock stuff from.
Yeah,
From
well,
the
actually,
US.
I happen to have a few prints here.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, look. This. I took it with me, but I'm not going to use it because obviously it's.
Oh wow.
look at that.
I wonder if it's one. I wonder if it's a one taken in Mexico. What do you guys think? I don't know.
Maybe.
It might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard, it's hard to say.
So that's why it stopped at 1980, because 81, 82 would have been the Elder, and as we know, it's there's not much to talk about.
The Elder basically went over like a fart in church.
Okay.
I love the Elder. So,
I
well,
know.
I
I
mean,
know you do.
We all do. We all do.
Obviously,
Yes.
Obviously, the natural continuation would be to do something for 1988. Is there enough material? Is that something that's in you're thinking about? Is that
I
something you can't talk about?
I get no, I get that. I was asked that a lot after 78. Everyone
Right.
say 88, 88, 88.
Yeah.
The truth is, they don't have photos.
Really
They don't have enough photos to make a magazine.
interesting.
It was not a draw that, what, if you see the amount of photos of 77 and 78, it's shocking. They have
Wow.
thousands of photos. They had, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 photographers every night shooting all concert long.
Wow.
Didn't happen in 88. They maybe
Well,
have had one.
nobody cared. Nobody cared in '88.
It was a very different band. So that's really the main reason. If they had photos, I might have, but they don't. So it's very hard. It would be
What
very
about
hard.
what about '97?
97, same thing. With 97 has been covered by so many other publications, and so it's not exclusive to Japan. I think
Sure.
with the real draw and the real passion Kiss fans have for Japan is 77 and 78.
I agree with that, and I would be
They
a
just
player,
look so cool. It's just
Sure,
absolutely undeniable, right?
and I would be a player for something from '88 if the material was there. But
Mhm.
past that, I don't think I would have as nearly as much interest in a Japan '97 or all of those
Vi-
later tours. It's
Yeah,
oversaturated.
visually, it's not the same thing. Musically, they were amazing, but
Sure.
visually, it's a different band, really.
I would still have interest for a '97
Would you?
one. Yeah, I definitely would. I mean, that them going back to Japan, it was sort of like a, very Christian in a sense. It was like the kind of the phoenix rising from the ashes. The original band hadn't been there since '78, and then they were back in '97. They're doing
Yeah.
they're doing these funny commercials.
Right.
The whole thing with Spiro playing as Gene in the commercial, Gene losing his voice. So I mean, perhaps maybe I would be a lot more interested in like a documentary on Japan '97.
I think I'm
Yeah.
just
I think with that period you have already video, so
right. That's what I'm saying.
It's a different era, yeah.
I'm speaking to the fact that the '96, '97 era in general is so oversaturated.
No, you're right.
We have so much material from all over the world.
that's true.
I just don't know. It's just hard to say how much interest there would be as opposed to what Alan has already done.
No, you're not wrong. You're not
I
wrong.
think I look at Crazy Nights in Japan as kind of like the underbelly, like the Elder was in the U.S. It's like I will take as many photos as I can because it just wasn't nearly, documented enough. So enough. So I would be interested in what could come of
Yeah,
Crazy
even
Nights.
though we have a great video of Tokyo
Right.
'88.
Even though we have a great video, sure.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
call that great?
Well,
Yep. Back then it was great.
Back then,
agree.
yes, back then.
yeah. I remember getting it and loving it. So
Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too. That's
I
all
got
you
it.
had. So
I got it in a weird point in my fandom because was just getting into non-makeup Kiss, which was like probably '99 or 2000. I was getting into non-makeup Kiss. Prior to that, I just could take it or leave it. I
you're a
was-
kid.
Yeah, but the first thing I had was Animalized Live and Uncensored, and I was like, what are these other songs? Fits Like a Glove. What the hell is that? Like, I just didn't know. But so then I had that, and then soon after, I think I maybe got it the same day. And I think it was probably one of the old Rothman Center conventions where I got the Animalized Live and Uncensored, and I got the Crazy Night Show, Japanese.
It's always interesting doing shows with you, Andrew, and hearing your perspective. And I didn't get into quote unquote. I didn't get into Kiss until non-makeup Kiss until '99 or 2000. When Alan and I were, and most other fans around that in these silly groups were old guys or older guys.
Well, it's interesting to note there's a clear delineation between the two eras of Kiss fans, and I only consider there be two eras of Kiss fans. There were at a certain point, you would ask a Kiss fan, "Oh, did you ever see them in makeup?" And now you ask the fans, "Did you ever see them without makeup?" So that's why I always think there are two clear delineations. There were the fans that you were always like, "Did you see them in makeup?" And now it's like, "Whoa, have you ever seen them out of makeup?" So
Interesting. Never thought about that.
yeah, and around '99, that's when Kiss was starting to play those other songs again. You know, you had them gearing up for the Millennium concert, and obviously the farewell tours when they first started doing the "I Love It Loud" and "Lick It Up" at Heaven's on Fire. So that's why I kind of went
Right.
back and was listening to that stuff, because Kiss was due to play that again. But you need to remember, at the time, especially in the reunion, they ignored the non-makeup stuff.
Well,
And
of course they did.
And that's really where my fandom.
Yeah, that was the kind of the point.
That was the point.
That was when my fandom was taken into overdrive. Was then, because I just knew or cared about makeup Kiss.
It's an interesting perspective,
Mhm.
you know, with your age and all. I know we joke about it a lot, but it's an interesting perspective where you came in and you know how you had to backtrack to all that. I mean, obviously, I had to backtrack to makeup stuff, even though, you know, I became a fan in, you know, probably '79. I was young, 4 years old, you know, and, you know, had to backtrack into all of that. And I was lucky enough to see them in '82 at 7 years old, you know, so I did get to see the original, you know, band in makeup, or not the full original band, but the original makeup band,
run. Yeah, the
you
original
know,
makeup run.
and, but, you know, had to backtrack and all of that as well. But, you know, I like the perspective sometimes, even though we tend to make fun of you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no. And remember too, at the time, and this even goes back to '96, '97. It wasn't in vogue for a fan of my age to be around. It's completely changed now.
Sure.
There's other generations younger than me, several generations that are fans now. But at the time, you know, '96 to probably about 2003, 2004, maybe even going into 2005, my age group, there really wasn't any Kiss fans. You know, it was so small. So now there are people much younger than me who are just as rabid as I was.
Sure. Yeah.
Because there was this research, but at that time, remember, there wasn't. I caught a lot of flack. You know, Roberta. I caught a lot of flack for being a fan. You know, at the time.
Dork. Okay, so Kiss, the originals, +1.
Yes.
Let's recap.
Where can we get it?
You can go and order or pre-order at www.kissinjapan.com. It's a 130-page book. It comes with an exclusive poster. If you pre-order quickly, you can buy 2 and save a bit on shipping. And it's a recap of the Music Life archives from 1975 to 1980 with tons of unreleased cool vintage Kiss photos, officially licensed by Kiss.
Yes, I love it.
And remember,
I love it too.
remember this episode will be up in a couple days, but remember, September 7th is your cutoff to order Kiss the Originals +1 to get that exclusive poster. So
That's right.
make sure you head on over. Again, you're going to be saying this in your sleep. Head on over to kissinjapan.com to pre-order the book, and you won't be sorry, because, you know, like I mentioned, I got all the other books, and so does Jason, and we're really you know, excited to.
Yeah, I'm a genuine fan of this guy.
Same.
You know,
Same.
Thank you, thank you.
I really love what he's done for the community,
Same.
and so
I've been singing.
thanks for continuing.
I've been singing your praises, Alan, but I'm sure you already know this. I'm sure you already know this. So, but yeah,
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, any parting thoughts that you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah. Any parting thoughts, Alan?
I first of all very grateful for the invitation. I love Kiss. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
You know,
there
and
you
I
go.
think we all share this passion, because you wouldn't spend this amount of time and money to put out something if you didn't really truly love what you're doing. And being able to, as a kid, as I learned Japanese, I moved to Japan because of the Music Life Encyclopedia, and I was making little fanzines in Belgium. You know, being able to publish very soon a 130-page officially licensed by Kiss magazine with the Shenko Music Life archives, my mind is about to blow up any second. With a huge smile on my face.
Yes.
So yeah, it's truly for the fans. If I could sell it for less, I would. But it's, believe me, with the production, the photo licensing, and the other stuff that you can imagine, it's still a great, I think, great item for your collection, and I hope everyone enjoys.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It'll be right back here on my bookshelf once I get my books out of my box.
I'm just glad that there's not going to be piles of garbage on your floor anymore, because
you never saw that in an episode, Andrew. You never saw it.
they never saw it, but I saw it, and once
I
I knew
know.
it, once I knew it was there, I couldn't think about anything else.
Okay.
That's all.
That's Andrew's OCD.
That's all I was
Well,
thinking about was the piles of
Alan,
garbage.
congratulations, my friend.
Yes.
And
Thank you
And,
very much.
thank you for coming on our returning episode. And
Welcome back.
yeah, thank you. And if we've got nothing else, do you have anything else, Andrew?
I don't.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We're happy to be back, and we will see you on the next one.
And there will be a next one.
And there will be a next one.
We're back.